Some people on social media are calling for a Budweiser boycott this morning because of that Super Bowl commercial. The immigrant story of Budweiser's co-founder was just one of the ads that got into politics. We looked at how they resonated with the viewers. CBS News contributor, that's Frank Luntz, showed them to a focus group of 18 men and 18 women between the ages of 19 to 50. They used a dial to rate their reactions. So the red line represents the men, the green line represents the women. The higher the lines go, the more effective the ad is. Frank Luntz is in Los Angeles to show us what worked and what didn't. Frank, let's start with that Budweiser commercial, because the company says, look, this ad was in the works even long before the election, long before Donald Trump's travel ban. But let's see what your group had to say. First, let's look at your dial test.
Great.
Abandon ship!
Welcome to St. Louis, son.
Hey, Frank Luntz, the company also says this is not meant to convey a political message. What did your people think?
They didn't see a political message. They actually found it interesting that they got a feel for how Anheuser-Busch was originally founded. Now, you'll notice that the scores are hovering around that 50 point. That's moderately good. It's just average. It didn't upset anyone. It didn't attract anyone. Anheuser-Busch has had some of the greatest ads of the Super Bowl. That wasn't one of them. But nobody, not a single person, thought that it was deserving of any kind of boycott.
All right, let's look at the Audi commercial, which I have to say, personally, I thought that was one of my favorites, with the dad talking to his daughter.
Oh,
Let's
boy,
take
me
a
too.
look. Didn't you love that, Charlie? I love this ad.
I just love the race car thing to it.
Unanimous at the table, I think. Let's take a look.
What do I tell my daughter? Do I tell her that her grandpa's worth more than her grandma? That her dad is worth more than her mom?
All right, Frank Luntz, any difference between the men and the women?
As you can see there's a little bit more response from the women, but what you probably won't get to is the last 5 seconds when they talk about gender equality in terms of pay, when the men actually dialed it down. Of all the ads that we tested, this one had the biggest difference at the end when it came to men and women, because they thought that it was a political statement, and there's a rule, which is you keep politics out of football, keep politics out of the Super Bowl.
Wow, I didn't realize gender pay equality was politics. I know, but I guess people see it that way. Yeah.
But you could actually, Hillary Clinton made it politics, and that was a big issue for her in 2016, and that's what came through only in the last 2 or 3 seconds of the ad.
So is it good for Audi or not?
It's very good for Audi, but it took too long to make that message. It took too long to get to the point.
What about 84 Lumber and Airbnb? They both struck political chords in their ads as well.
Yes, they did. And for the most part, the reaction actually for Airbnb was pretty positive. Ads that called for a sense of unity, purpose, were seen very favorably. The country acknowledges that it is divided, and ads that seem to bring us together, like the one you're showing right now, actually received a relatively high score, but this still isn't the #1 ad of the Super Bowl.
But Frank, Airbnb wanted to offer free housing to refugees. People are complaining about that?
All it communicated to the average viewer, and remember, you all see it differently than anyone else. That communicated a sense of unity and purpose, but please show the best ad of the Super Bowl.
Frank.
We'll do it right now,
We're hearing that from all corners.
Here you go, here you go.
Inside these lines, we don't have to come from the same place to help each other reach the same destination.
No time to waste. Let's work.
Inside these lines, we may have our differences, but recognize there's more that unites us. Inside these lines.
All right, Frank, the assessment?
Yes, I'm going to give you the quote. It brings out the best in us. It shows what America is all about, and the NFL is America. And certainly the audience viewership last night may hit record numbers because of that close finish. And that ad communicated at the very end, you've got the map of the United States of America. That is exactly the emotional message that people want to hear. Normally, Super Bowl ads that win are funny ads, but this is not the typical year, and this was not the typical Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Forrest's narration was perfect. Frank, thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.